Rick, the Kremlin is upset at the prospect of Finland and Sweden joining NATO, and now the U.S. has come out in support of them becoming members. How do you think this changes Putin's calculus, since NATO expansion is the opposite of what he wants?
Yes, Jonathan, you put it well. I mean, all of the things that Putin was trying to avoid, he has brought down on himself. The expansion of NATO, Finland and Sweden. Sweden has been neutral, Jonathan, for 2 centuries. Finland has been neutral since World War II. What has catapulted them into NATO? Vladimir Putin invading Ukraine. And so he is causing all the things that he didn't want. He's reaping the whirlwind. And as your very good warm-up said, I mean, the war isn't going well for him.
Putin, the war isn't going well, and his military is still not making significant gains on the battlefield and suffering huge losses. 27,000 dead soldiers, according to Ukrainian President Zelensky. So what possibilities does Putin have to end this conflict, and are they narrowing?
Well, truth is the first casualty of war, Jonathan, as we know. So it's hard to know how many Russian soldiers have been killed, how many Ukrainians have been killed. Both sides tend to exaggerate. The fact is, now that he's concentrating on the Donbass region and getting a kind of a land bridge to Crimea, that does give the outlines of a possible settlement. The Ukrainian forces have been valiant, pushing him out of Kiev, pushing him out of the north of the country. And so now there will be eventually some kind of negotiation over that region. And hopefully the 2 sides will be able to come to some agreement. Thus far, the Russians haven't really been negotiating in good faith. But the worse the war goes for Putin, the more likely he is to negotiate.
Rick, I got to get you on one more thing. There are rumors about Putin's health that have been circulating inside Putin's inner circle. Michael Weiss obtained audio of a Russian oligarch telling a Western businessman that Putin is very ill with cancer. Let's listen to Weiss on what that information might mean.
If this is the truth, well, wow. If this oligarch is talking out of his hat, speculating, idly doing kind of remote diagnosis, the way that a lot of people that are quoted in the tabloid press are doing, okay. Or number 3, and perhaps most tantalizing of all, if this is some cleverly cooked up piece of disinformation that Russian elites have disseminated into the West and also within Moscow itself in the sort of inner sanctum of the Russian government, then it suggests that it's designed to make Putin look vulnerable and weak and perhaps susceptible to a coup.
I mean, Rick, you were in government. U.S. officials are obviously aware of the rumors. How do they evaluate these claims about Putin? And frankly, does it matter in terms of policy calculations?
Well, Jonathan, you heard the rumors. It's like, rumors within rumors, like Russian nesting dolls. That's kind of a classic Kremlinology. And of course, there has been speculation about this before. The fact that Putin sits 15 or 20 feet away from people during COVID. He obviously doesn't want to get COVID. Maybe his immune system is compromised. I saw the other day the annual hockey game that he participates in. He didn't participate in it. So people are reading the tea leaves. But it is the sort of thing that the U.S. intelligence services, I'm sure, are investigating. I'm sure they have a little more data than we have. But in the short term, it doesn't really make much of a difference because he's going to execute this war. He wants to come out and save face and try to come home with some kind of victory. But even his speech on the great Patriotic War Day, May 9th, was very muted. He didn't claim victory. He didn't. He tried to link what's going on in Ukraine with what the Russians sacrificed in World War II, and they're sacrificing again now.